Welcome to fragcast.org. Today we have a video review of Star Trek Online Beta, released January 12th with the final release scheduled for February 2nd, 2010. This game is based on the Star Trek intellectual property, which has several TV shows and movies, including a 2009 popular remake. The Star Trek universe motto is to boldly go where no man has gone before, to seek out new life and new civilizations. You get to play two sides in this game, the Federation and after level 6, the Klingons. One good thing is you get a starship from the get-go, so you have action in space as well as on the ground. The usual enemies are there, the Borg, the Romulans, and others, including each other. PvP is definitely a big part of this game. So with that, let's go ahead and get started and show you the game. One thing that Cryptic is known for is their character customizations, and this game is no exception. Champions Online City of Heroes had some of the best customizations out there for any video game. Star Trek Online is no exception. You can pick from a variety of races, you can select random characteristics. You go through the head, the body, the uniform, different parts, and literally everything's got a slider scale. You want a big head, little head, neck, hands, feet, and everything has a slider that you can adjust the size and color on. You can add antennas, you can add ridges, scars, antlers. It's just amazing what you can do in this game. And you can make your character look like anything. There's a little random button. It took me 30 minutes to make my character, but if you just want a straight Vulcan or something like that, it's easy, as well as using the random feature. But it's definitely a fun part of this game. For example, if you want to make one of those little hotties from the 60s show, a little sexy little green alien with antenna, you can go ahead and do that. So character customization is definitely one of the pluses in this game. Speaking about Green Little Women, one thing I was kind of disappointed in was that romance was a big part of the Star Trek original series. Didn't really see that here. I couldn't really pick up any green aliens and try to have sex with them. So that was a bit disappointing. Hopefully it'll either be in the game somewhere. Overall, the setup, the GUI, everything was pretty good. It's pretty faithful to the Star Trek universe. The game, I will say, was buggy, and there was a lot of drops and server instability. So because it is in beta, we hope that they fix it. But February 2nd is just a few weeks away, so they have a lot of work to do, and I do expect a buggy release. Hopefully they'll be able to put more polish on it. Another thing I noticed was that the animations were a little choppy. As we show you more of the game itself, you can see for yourself the space battles and the things in space look pretty good, the space map, and we'll go over these in detail, but there was definitely a lot of bugs. Hopefully they'll work on these and we'll have a much better game on release. So the next thing you see here is the galaxy map, and I did like this part of the game as well. You have different star systems, and you're able to pick them. You can see them in the big map, and it scales nicely up and down, and gives you a nice tactical as well as strategic look at everything. You can pick a star system, just click on it, and it'll fly you right there. And you actually don't just zap there, just warp there. You actually travel there, so which is kind of interesting because you got to get a chance to look at the scenery. Might encounter some enemies, etc., along the way. So this aspect, the space map, I did like in the traveling between star systems. A lot of the space missions are just basically go here, and you usually encounter some enemies, and that's really my criticism of the game, is that a lot of it was repetitious. You see here the space battle. A lot of the missions are like this, where together with a fleet, either with your fleet, which is the equivalent of a guild, or your instance combat is a lot of these missions here that you're going to see. I will admit that at first it is pretty fun. You look at here, you have your phasers and torpedoes on cooldown, and the key to combat is really controlling your shields, putting power to attack when you need to, defense and speed to get away, controlling your power controlling your shields and using your cooldowns and special abilities of your crew members. So that's really the key to space battle. You want to try to get your broadsides as much as possible so you can use both your front and rear phaser banks. Then you have your photon torpedoes, which only work in the front arc. So what you try to do is you do a broadside, and when your photon torpedoes are done with their cooldown, you rotate over and shoot them, and you try to put power on the shields on the side that you're trying to fight. So space combat is pretty fun. It's definitely interesting. The graphics and the gameplay were really fun with the space combat. The last part of the game we're going to talk about is the ground, action on the ground, the away missions. So you see here that you and your crew go down to different planets, bases, starships, and go mano a mano against the enemy. This is my biggest complaint about the game, is the missions. The missions were pretty weak and unoriginal. One mission and the next is the same. You just replace the Klingons with the Borg or someone else. Sometimes they add a little bit of collection or other things, but it's pretty much combat oriented. So you don't have a lot of variety with the missions. Also, you can see the animations are very choppy. And one thing I know is you can slap somebody and they fly halfway across the map. They fix a little bit of it, but the animations are still very choppy. You have your abilities, you have different crew members, you get drops both on the ground and in space from the enemies you kill. One thing I also want to talk about is the currency system. There's 3 different currencies for starships, to buy supplies, etc. I don't really understand why they separated the 3. It makes it a little bit more complicated. So don't understand that. But this is my main complaint about the game, is the animation, the choppiness on the ground, the lack of mission variety. Everything seems to be combat oriented. You don't have the problem solving. You didn't see the diplomacy, and you didn't see the other aspects of non-combat that Star Trek's known for. So with that, it's time to give this game a score. I give it a 72%. While there's great character customization, the space battles are fun at first, the missions are very repetitive and unoriginal, the game is buggy and unstable even for beta, and there just really isn't a lot of content there. So I think true Trekkies will like the game. I think other people will like it for a month or 2, but don't see it really lasting long. So that concludes our review. We'll see you on fragcast.org. Take care.